All right. Well, welcome back to Beyond the Bar, the podcast where legal minds step outside the courtroom and into the real world. Today, we're stepping into the world of fossils, feathers, and family fun. We're talking all things Ogden Dinosaur Park, one of northern Utah's most beloved attractions and community resources. Joining me are three incredible guests who help bring this park to life every day. I've got to my right here Shane Lyon, who is the chairperson of the board. Then I've got over on the far end here, Sarah, do I say Majur? Mir. I totally murdered that. I am so sorry.
Good.
Mir.
I did too.
We need
Everyone
a little
does. It's
phonetics thing there. Okay, Sarah Mir, who is the executive director of the Dinosaur Park.
Yes.
Thank you for being that too. It's been a long time since we've had a good one.
It's awesome. It's so fun.
No offense to anybody in the past, but anyway, it's true.
And
then we've got Casey, and I'm saying Neville, right?
Neville.
Neville?
Actually. Yeah, I know.
I've been saying it right.
Everybody says it wrong, but it's okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, people murder my name too, so there we go. Okay, so Casey Neville, and I should know that because I know a lot of your people. He is the former chairperson, but now just a current board member like myself.
Pain in everybody's right, Shane?
No.
And just for disclosure on this podcast, because I'm a lawyer, but I'm also a board member for the Dinosaur Park. So it's a fun group of friends that we have here today to talk to you about the park. We're going to focus on what's behind me, the new park that the playground, I should say. And we're calling it an all abilities playground because that's what it is, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Officially now it is.
Yep.
Awesome. Good. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And then let's see here. I do the segments that we're going to cover are, first one, we're going to talk a little bit about the mission behind the Dinosaur Park. Then we're going to get into the animal sanctuary or refuge and some of the challenges that we had with that in the past. Shane, you're going to get that. We're going to talk about this all abilities playground. Then we're going to move into life at the park and behind the scenes kind of stuff. Sarah, we're going to really lean on you for that there.
Sounds good.
Then we're going to turn a little bit, take a kind of right-hand turn. We're going to talk about dinosaurs, science, and beliefs. Get into creationism, evolution, all that kind of stuff. It could get weird. Could be fun. We'll see what happens. And then finally, we'll end with community connections and kind of looking ahead from the park's perspective. So, whatever input you guys have on that.
Thaddeus, I just have to say, you've done a good job of keeping us professional so far, but
Thank you.
You're going to be challenged.
Inviting
the three of us at once. Like, even the fact that you said, what did he say? Like, fantastic. How did he introduce us?
Oh, yeah. It was really nice.
Shane and I both looked at each other like, he's including us in that statement? Sarah, for sure. But
2 times in my life I've heard that. 2 times.
And they were both in the last 10 minutes.
Oh, goodness. All right. Now we have to do an awkward pause brought to us by Shane Lyon. Okay. We're back. Thanks, Shane, for bringing that to us.
You're welcome. Again, all proceeds from that awkward pause goes to the dino.
Excellent. All right. So let's jump into the mission behind the dinosaurs, or the Dinosaur Park, really, is what we're looking at here. And Casey, I wanted to start with you on this. You've been here for a long time. I think longer than any of us here, correct?
Yeah, maybe. If I could. Shane and I were real close. Shane, a year after me, maybe?
I think so.
Something like that. Close.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So tell us, for those that haven't visited yet, what is the mission of the Ogden Dinosaur Park?
Well, the way everybody might probably have a different response for this, but for
we
me,
have a lot of different versions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, and I think all of them are probably appropriate.
They are.
For me, it's, as an educator, I look at it as a way to entertain people and then kind of trick them into being educated, right? Because we always say our goal is education, but in order to get people excited about something, you have to have some form of entertainment. So I think that's our route, is entertainment to educate.
That's awesome. I like how you put it. Sarah, do you want to add anything to that?
Oh, yeah. I think that's pretty much it as well. But I always like to say something about a little magic in there because the imagination and creativity that people bring to the park with them is really important as well. So we inspire them.
Awesome. For those you two that have been here a little longer, how has the mission evolved over the years, if at all?
I think that it's evolved just by looking around and seeing what's changed and the new developments we've had. And for me, I feel like that maybe not how it has, but just what's allowed it to is allowing people to be creative, listening, having new people, and then even the staff that have been here for a really long time or board members that have been here for a long time, allowing them to share their ideas and embracing those ideas, I think is what allows it to evolve. And just, you know, like the All Abilities Playground, that was something that was needed, and it come from a little idea of us exploring other places, really, and just having ideas to letting it become, and having everybody give a little bit of input is what created it, right?
That's awesome. And I love that so much of this came from the park down in St. George, right?
Yeah, I think that's where we all
Thunder
visited
Alley or something.
Thunder
What's
Mountain.
it called?
Thunder Junction.
Or
Thunder Junction.
Yeah.
Nice. Shane finally talked. That's the longest time period in the entire time I've known Shane where he hasn't spoken. Shane, tell us how about what's changed in the recent years with the mission?
The park, what, 30, little over 30, 32 years that this park began, and it began as a vision by Bob Marquardt, right? Yep. We should have had Mark Wayman come and join us, because he is the park. He has been here since day one. We always laugh that when Mark passes, we're going to stuff him, and he's going to be one of the exhibits here in the park. But no, this is his baby. This is something that he's been a part of forever, and some very, very influential people and individuals in Ogden City years and years ago had the idea for an educational dinosaur park for the community, right? It was necessary. So land that we were on was donated, including additional land that we have across the river, and quite a bit of acreage was all donated. And they began breaking ground on what we see today, right? And this is...
And may I add, Shane, that it was land that was considered useless, right?
Yeah.
Overgrown with a lot of different trees and noxious weeds and stuff that people didn't want to have anything to do with. And those guys that wanted to get this started saw the vision and put it through.
It's crazy when you think about that now, because this is like some pretty sweet land.
Prime land.
Right.
I'm like, I want this land.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, if you think about
It's
it,
good
what was here was Rainbow Gardens.
Yeah.
Right? And the canyon. And that really is all that was here.
Yeah.
And so they started that 30-something years ago. They created all the sculptures you see, plus ones that are gone and not here anymore, and some that we've built since then. An old playground that we tore down that was falling apart. I laugh because I say that to come to the old playground, you got a tetanus shot before you got on the
That's
playground.
what I heard, I know.
But I played on that playground. I remember. And some of these
That's
pieces
how
that we
old
see.
it is.
Yeah, that's how old it is.
Jane played.
Yeah.
But if you look, like some of these pieces, I remember being a kid, being on that dinosaur skull.
Yeah.
I remember climbing on this turtle over here, and hopefully none of our education staff hear what I call the sculptures, because they'll be upset with me.
That's okay.
But
they forgive me all the time.
Yeah.
so we
Yeah, because that's not a turtle, right?
I don't know.
Like a prehistoric.
But
parent
I'm
of
sure
the
there's a
turtle.
sign. No, it's the idea was education. You asked what this stemmed off of, and that's what it was education and fun and a place for the community to come to. And it's been that and will continue to be more. And that's one thing that we don't want to do, is we don't want to slow down.
So Shane, how does the education team here at the park bring his prehistoric science to the life for visitors of all ages?
Oh my gosh, this is actually a better answer.
Well,
for
I'm going to
Sarah,
swing
but
it around the table here,
Okay.
but starting with you, since you were
if-
quiet for so long.
If you've
Making up
ever-
for lost time, though.
Thank you. If you've ever had the pleasure of meeting with our education team, you would be blown away. Their knowledge of the dinosaurs and of the fossils and of the park and the gems and everything, their knowledge is unprecedented. I learn something new every time I come here. This is how involved they are. When we go to Christmas dinners and we're outside of the park, they're still talking about dinosaurs. They don't stop.
That's what I love. At before I started, when you had that end of year party, I just was cracking up because they were all arguing about what something was or wasn't, and it was this whole big thing at the party. And I was like, I love this team.
Lots
They
of
are
passion.
incredible,
Yeah.
so passionate, so knowledgeable.
This is their
And that's
life.
just who they are. It's who they are.
It is. And that's what makes them amazing at what they do. That's why when we see them, it's always, what can we do for you? Anything you want, no questions asked. They're amazing.
I ask
And they
questions.
make, well, you ask questions, but you're supposed to. I try and keep the peace. But really, they make it that much better for our guests that come to the park. And literally, as I walked in today, they're doing a tour at the very front, and they had a whole group of people, even little kids that are 2 years old, are just enthralled in what they're saying.
Yep, super cool. I love seeing that with the staff. They're very engaged. Love what they do. I run a business, and I'm always looking for people that are passionate about their job. And what's cool is you can see that here. Like, everybody is just so passionate about what they do. Sarah, you too.
Yeah.
So, talking about passion, let's a little bit of a tweak to that. What's something like different or unique that most people don't know about the park, but you think would be cool for them to know about?
So many things. I'm like, I don't know where to start. It is so cool and so unique. I think just jumping off from when you're talking about the education team and the passion, I think one thing, like, I've been a nonprofit for like over a decade now, and the biggest struggle with any nonprofit is staff turnover, and that is not a problem here. They live here, they love it here, they don't want to leave here, and I just love that. Like, I love that. The level of burnout, like, is now it's greatly reduced. There were some staff on the brink of that just from overloaded, but not burnout in a bad way. Burnout in a way of they just love it so much and take it home with them and live it and love it. So that's one thing that really struck me, because that's not an issue here.
I can add something that's unique that people don't know. It's not just the dinosaur park. We have 3, isn't that right? 3 separate museums.
Technically 4 if you ask Jeff, but 1 is not on display.
Okay, so what are those? Explain those real quick.
Oh, yeah, real quick. I'm like, oh, no. I should have brought a cheat sheet. 6 months in, I'm still practicing the different things. But we have the sculpture park. We have the inside, we have the Stewart Education Museum. We have the Rudd Hall upstairs with all the gems and minerals. And then we have the Thorstead collection, which is the 4th one that isn't on display. But once we finish the renovation of our Bone Cabin Outpost Education Center, it will be on display.
What is that?
I know. So that one is...
Can't tell too many secrets yet.
I know.
Gotta build
it's
up
not.
the enthusiasm.
It's really cool. It's essentially like pretty fancy figurines. So think of like really high-end dinosaur sculptures and figurines that we can have on display that are safe to touch, but just a little more special than what you would get at like the toy store.
Yeah. Casey, how about you?
I think they've hit the nail on the head. It's that enthusiasm. That's what makes this park what it is the people that work here. We can have the coolest exhibits ever, but if you don't have the excitement that the staff has, it's not going to have the glamour that it has. I mean, talk about dedication. If you say hello to any of them, you're going to get a good little lecture, in a good way, a positive lecture on whatever species you're standing next to or whatever thing they just got done reading. They're so excited about it. So much dedication that during COVID, when we had to lay people off and close down the park because they wouldn't allow us to have it operating, they still showed up for work, doing maintenance and groundskeeping. And we had an exhibit that was scheduled to come in. Every employee, even though they were laid off, still showed up that day because they wanted to see it be placed. Like, they're just that dedicated and so excited. And they were staying in touch with each other as well, like still spending their time together, even though it was closed down. So cool. That was a huge eye-opener for me. I've never seen that much dedication. So
I think the thing I'm most surprised about is the price. To get in here, it's so affordable.
It is.
What is it right now?
It's $12 a person.
Yeah.
And what's really affordable is the membership. The daily ticket price, I think for a family of 5, I'd be like, ooh, it'd be like a little painful, I think. But the membership, if we came 2.3, I did the math when we were talking about our memberships, 2.3 times for the most part with a membership, and it's paid for. Yeah. So if you're going to come at least twice, you get the membership and you can come every day.
Yeah, and some of the other things that, I mean, you guys talked about the 4 like kind of buildings, 3, 1 on its way. But there's the park, there's the picnic tables, there's the walkways. I mean, there's a ton of outdoor stuff, right?
Yeah, like we have 8.5 acres outside.
Yeah.
We have the 2-story museum inside. So whether it's when you're too hot outside, you can go in and cool down. If you're too cold inside, you can come out and warm up. You know, there's just rain or shine. There's always something to do.
And there's the store. You can buy all sorts of crazy dinosaur stuff.
I am probably the number one
Yeah.
purchaser of all of our merchandise in the gift shop. But
I feel like we should do
good.
a shameless plug for the membership too, because you get exclusive offers, right?
Oh, yeah, and you get a discount in the gift shop.
Special invites to some of our events where
Early
it's members only.
access to like Dinos in the Dark before it sells out, things like that.
We
Yep.
also have Dinos for All.
Yes.
Talk about Dinos
Oh,
for All.
I got to talk about that a lot last night. Dinos for All is our most affordable family membership package. So it's $50, and it includes 2 named adults and children. And that is if anyone qualifies for food stamps or SNAP or EBT or WIC. All they have to do is just show us that they're already qualified for one of those programs at the front desk, and it's a $50 membership for the whole year.
That's awesome.
Which is amazing.
Good. It's so good to hear about
And
that.
included, we also have ramp days. And there are, I mean, a variety. What did you do yesterday? Tell about the event
last night
yesterday.
was amazing. Oh my gosh. We had 1,500 people come to the park last night. We gave away free school supplies. So from 5 to 7, it was free admission and free school supplies. We did it BYOB, so bring your own backpack.
Nice.
Because we had all kinds of supplies that were donated, but we didn't have backpacks. So I was like, BYOB, bring your backpack and gather some supplies. The event was supposed to start at 5. People were lining up at 4 o'clock.
What?
I was like, what is happening?
That's awesome.
So we let them in early. We had our clickers going just to try to keep track of how many people came through, and it's about 1,500 people. We gave every pencil, every last packet of paper. We got into the hands of those kiddos, and it was awesome.
So
it was
good.
great.
That's really cool.
Hey, Thaddeus, I'm going to
Yeah.
back up with your questions.
Yes,
you
sir.
You asked what is something that people don't know about here.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, sadly, it's the park itself. Like, we hear people all the time, like, I didn't even know this place existed, and they've lived here their whole
True.
life. And we market the crap out of this place, right? We do a lot of marketing, and we put a lot of revenue into marketing, but still people don't know about it. And that's, I think, Shane, we've had this conversation numerous times where we're so surprised of people not knowing of its existence. So we're trying to improve that. And I think we have improved that a lot with the marketing and getting Sarah out there and some of the other people and being involved in things. But
Good
this
news
is
for you
certainly gonna
guys.
help.
After this podcast,
Blowing up.
Yeah,
not going to be a
right.
problem
Going
for you
Exactly,
anymore.
yeah.
It's going to be massive.
Well, I think
I
it
would
goes
hope so.
both ways, because good news for you,
You
us
ch-
being on your podcast. is gonna
Yes.
We're
skyrocket.
kind of a big deal on
That's
YouTube.
why I said you guys are fantastic.
No, it's true what Casey said. I was at Fan X, and this was a couple years ago, and my wife and I were walking around Fan X, and I had our little puppet dinosaurs that are in a crate. And I was about 10 minutes in, and I looked at my wife and realized that we were now, oh my gosh, what do they call them? We were cosplaying.
Cosplay.
So we were cosplayers. I didn't realize I was going to be a cosplayer that day, but I was in probably 300 different photos from people that wanted to get a photo of us with our vest and the little animatronic dinosaur that we had. And I was talking to somebody, and they said, "Oh, the dinosaur park. Where's the dinosaur park?" I said, "Oh, it's in Layton. Have you never, or not in Layton? It's in Ogden. Have you never been?" They're like, "Oh, no, I've never even heard about it." And I'm thinking, okay, they're probably from Wyoming or Idaho or Michigan or somewhere else. I said, "Where are you from?" He says, "Layton." How long have you lived in Utah? My whole life. That hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt. And that's when I decided, okay, we have got to do a lot more marketing. And since then we have. And now, because of Sarah, because of Casey, because of our board, because of things like this, we're on the map.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen an uptick. I mean, just social media, some of the marketing. Sarah, you're doing a fantastic job.
Thanks.
I did want to say, too, to back up a little bit, just the passion your team has, that comes from you, too. So you've done such an awesome job. I've seen some park executive directors, whatever, come and go, and you're top notch on that stuff. I mean, people want to work for people they like. So you do a great job.
I think I have the easiest job, though, because for me as a leader, all I have to do is get out of their way, right?
That's
like
the
you
best
hire the right
leader.
people, you give them the right tools, and you
That's
get the
right.
heck out of their way, which is I've appreciated about this board here. I feel like Shane has done that for me as our chair, which is amazing. But that's honestly all I've done. I'm like, yes, that sounds like an amazing idea. Of course you should do that. You know, like obviously we can't say yes to everything, but anyway, I feel like I'm their cheerleader. Like that's what I'm here to be, is their cheerleader and to support them, because they are the ones that are so passionate about
Yep.
it. my level of dinosaur knowledge before here was The Land Before Time. Like that's that is my love, like my dinosaur movie that I loved. And so
And now you're dinosaur dresses, dinosaur earrings.
I am Team Dino all the way.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think that was a very humble response, but
Yes.
honestly, Sarah, for a team to see enthusiasm in their leader, like that it's one thing for you to share it, but for you to get excited about their ideas, that's a whole nother level of a leader. And so
Agreed.
that's what brings the excitement to this park. And we have seen a change just in attitudes. Not that everybody had a bad attitude before, but like they just are seeing that excitement.
I felt a lot different.
Yeah.
Like you can feel the energy here is so much different.
Right, that's
than
what
when
it
I
is looking
started.
for. Yeah, energy. You bring a great energy.
Well, let's bring all that energy down.
Okay.
Let's talk about the animal refuge for a little bit.
I guess I'll sit back and let Shane talk.
Shane, just tell us a little bit. Some people that have been following that might, take a look at this podcast just because of where we are right now. But last year there was a lot of discussion and concerns about the animal refuge. One of our former neighbors, and we can say former now, right?
Yes.
Is that my phone going off?
It is.
It is my phone.
Unprofessional.
It totally is
Get it
unprofessional.
together.
Man.
Together.
But can you walk us just briefly, and again, I'm not intending for this to kind of create any negativity, but what happened and what's happening right now with that space?
Yeah. I would like to start by saying, so it's the Northern Utah Wildlife Rehab Center.
Okay.
Exceptional organization. It's a great organization. They had been housed here at the park at the, what did we consider that building? Was the old dog pound?
Correct.
Was at the old dog pound. There's a lot of story about how they got here and how long they were supposed to stay and supposed to be here. It was a hard decision by the board to ask them to move on. Yet for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, we always had plans for that area. We always had plans for it. And so when they were asked to move on, it was not done correctly. And I will be the first to say that I did not agree with the way that we asked them to move on. We should have given them a whole lot extra time.
Mm-hmm.
I made it a point to befriend as much as I can and support as much as I can, which was hard. It was a really hard balance because I still have a responsibility to the park, but then it is such a great organization. So, again, I've made friends with Daylin and Buzz, taken them to lunch, gone and seen their facility, worked very, very closely. And this was kind of the changing factor of it was the new Ogden City administration that came in. Mayor Nadowski and I got really, really close, and he really jumped in feet first to see how he could help and how he could really change the whole dynamic of it, because it really was a hard situation on both ends. I wish it could have gone differently, but they're in a new building. I've toured their building and gone through it. It was a smaller building, but their main goal, I know, is to get a farm, right? Is to actually have a space that's a farm that could be so much larger and they can grow so much more into. But unfortunately, because of the time frame that they were given by the previous administration, it was a hard decision. It was a hard situation. But since then, I do feel like they have made leaps and bounds on what they're doing. I still follow them very closely. I still support as much as I possibly can to let them know that we are not enemies, that we are your friends, and we're here to support you. I've offered to put events on at the park, and then again, just anything we can continue to do to help them. I can tell you that area was never intended to be bulldozed to put in a parking lot. That was
that's
never
the story
I was
that
gonna
I
ask
heard
you.
the other day, and I was like,
Right.
what the hatchery? Like, I saw renderings and ideas of that as we've been going through, like, the archives and trying to get, like, our strategic vision for the next 10 years here at the park. Renderings from 10 years ago talking about that, what is there now.
Well, the problem is there was a lot of misinformation that was shared.
Yeah.
And so when all that was going on, I had just barely become board chair, and I was getting a call 3-4 times a day from different news stations asking for our side of the story, asking for us to say, what is happening. And we as a board purposely chose not to respond. Because we didn't want anything twisted. Because what was happening, it was also when the mayoral race was going on, and there were candidates that were utilizing that as their platform.
Right.
And I mean, we had threats that were being made to our staff. we had an individual that made death threats to our staff that wasn't even from this state, that has never been to the dinosaur park before. But this is the damage that was done. This individual was an underage kid, and he was in a complete different state, and he was reading this misinformation that was being spread all over social media, and he was sending threats to our staff. And in turn, we ended up having to call the police, and the police got a warrant involved, and they ended up tracking him down from his IP address. It was actually very impressive what they were able to do. They got a hold of him. They figured out he was a 17-year-old kid. Contacted his mother. They came back to us and says, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, I think he's probably learned his lesson at this point, because he realizes that what you say online is not private."
Yeah.
But it did cause a lot of problems because of the misinformation that was spread. And so when we did finally give a statement, it was more about the past, present, and future of the park and what our goals were. And that area where the wildlife rehab was at that point, the building was old. The building was falling apart. The building, it was time to be. It was a safety issue. It really was. So that area was always slated to be demoed. It was always slated to have another addition to the park, because this is another 3 acres that we have on top of our 8.5 acres that we have. We can have that additional 3 acres where we now have the hatchery building. And we're almost done with the hatchery building. And the idea around the hatchery building is going to be just that. It is a hatchery for new ideas. It is a hatchery for new sculptures. It is a hatchery for artists to come in and to paint our dinosaurs and maintain our dinosaurs. We're talking about putting in 3D printers and be
We've
able
been
to
doing
do
a lot of research.
Oh my
Nice.
gosh, it's so
We're taking
cool.
some tours and field trips. It's been
Yeah.
fun.
And right now it's a very simple pole building.
So that's what's going in right now. I mean, that's the
It's
plan.
already there.
It's built. It's
It's
up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
up. It's just
So
not
people
open
could
already.
come out here right now and they could see that it's not just a parking lot.
Absolutely. Now there is a parking lot there that is the existing
been
parking
there.
The
lot.
one that was always
there.
Yep. I
Yeah.
parked there before to fix
Exactly.
a flat tire.
And that has always been there. But you're going to see in that area when you go and you see the hatchery, and right now it's still being built and the area is still being built out, so it's not really open to the park.
No, yeah.
Right.
But the goal is that it will be. It's a pole building that we can tear down walls and we can open it up. But that additional area there, which is again 3 acres, is slated for phase 2 of our playground.
Awesome.
And this new playground is just a taste of what is actually coming
So
in that
cool.
area.
And I think since it's been brought up, we should clarify a few things. This gives us the platform, we're going to do it. The wildlife rehab was previously removed from their previous place before coming here. We had already had all of our plans set forth with what this was going to be, which it currently is. However, we allowed them to come on a temporary basis until they found something else. Well, that temporary basis of 1 year and then maybe 2 years turned into a lot longer, many, many years, to where
12, I believe.
Yeah, 12, which was, in my opinion, very gracious of us to allow that, right? Because we're like, well, we're
Right.
not to where we need to be, or let's just put off our plans. We'll keep working on some other areas until they find something. And then when it really came down to it, yes, the delivery was wrong on how they got notification. It had nothing to do with us. That's the other thing, is the
No,
park got
this is a different
all the
board.
credit for the entire, for the mishap.
I was like, we don't
But-
technically own
yeah,
that land.
Right, yeah,
Like-
like we got all the
Yeah.
credit for the bad information and for the way that it was handled. However, it really was, not intentional for it to be a negative thing.
Sure.
It was always supposed to be a temporary thing, which it just, sometimes generosity goes too far. So,
Yep. Yep.
unfortunately.
Yep.
So-
It's I've seen that happen a lot.
Yeah.
So it's but I'm glad it seems like all is well. That ends
I think
well.
everybody
So,
ended up where they needed to be anyways. And
Good.
I feel like it's a good place for everybody.
Very good. Let's see. Let's talk about the playground then. That's one of the reasons we wanted to come here. So the opening of the new playground happened when?
July 1st.
July 1st. And how's it been going since then?
Oh, it's been going really well. We had some little stumbles in the beginning. Like you said, it's an all abilities playground. There's a lot of thought and intentions that went behind the equipment that we have, to include all kinds of different equipment that can be accessible for kids in wheelchairs or in arm crutches, or just different sensory things. But the one problem that happened was that our engineered wood fiber, so it's wood chips, but they're an engineered wood fiber. It's ADA compliant when installed properly. Asterisks, right? So when installed properly, strollers can go on it, wheelchairs can go on it, but it was not installed properly. I don't want to throw them under the bus, but it wasn't installed properly, which made it really thick and really hard to navigate. So we quickly worked with the manufacturer to learn, like, hey, what is the proper protocol to put this in so that it functions as we need it to. They sent us those. We got those to the installer. They came back out. They fixed it. And we're good. We're rolling.
Essentially, it was not just the thickness that was necessary; it's the density.
It's the
of that
density,
thickness.
yeah. So that engineered wood fiber, when installed in smaller layers and wet down and compacted, will all kind of compress to make a nice, firm surface. And so it was really fun, though. We did have a family come out. I was like, hey, they said it's done and ready. Can you come and test it before we tell anyone that it's ready?
Yeah.
And she came out and made a really cute video. Shout out to Carrie Harbath for doing that with her daughter. That was
So
lovely. And so it's ready to roll.
Good.
Pun intended.
That's awesome. So when you say it's compliant now, is there actually a process that you have to go through to get certified as like all abilities, or?
Well, compliant, or maybe not compliant is the right word, but it's now accessible.
Okay.
Right? So it's ready to go. It was installed the way it should have been installed, so that it's safer for all kids.
Yeah.
And then it works with all kinds of wheels.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what the official process was, but we reviewed it through different companies that way, and we even have board members who need have those ADA needs, right? That we were able to ask, and they gave us a lot of input on how those things should be implemented, right?
City as well.
Yeah.
I had multiple meetings with the city in regards to it. It's something I want to address in this as well too. Is when we do say all abilities is all abilities. It's not just wheelchairs.
Yeah.
That was the problem that we had, was the accessibility for individuals that were in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And that was a problem. And our original plan with the playground was to have a hard rubberized surface like you see at other ones.
Mm-hmm.
It was very expensive.
Yeah.
We were looking 100 and 150,000
Oh no,
plus.
the new quotes, $250,000.
Okay, 250,000 for this area.
Yeah.
So we decided that it was better to have more equipment and cooler equipment and more activities for the kids, while still staying compliant and accessible. And again, as Sarah had said, that we were in a rush to get it done because everything was delayed, right? The beginning of the year started, everything that kind of got delayed with shipping and everything coming over. So, I mean, they were here the night before
And the
finalizing.
morning of, too.
Yeah, the morning
Like
finalizing
6 a.m.
things.
Yeah.
And so, though it was unfortunate that the wood chips were not ready at the time, we still knew we had to open, and that was the time frame that we put in place. As soon as literally that day, Sarah identified that there was a problem, she didn't waste any time. No. She jumped in on it from the very first second, and she was on calls, and she worked just countless hours. Her and the entire maintenance team, Shane O'Toole, and the rest of the team just worked tremendously to get it done and to get it back up to speed. And we acknowledge the fact that it was a problem. And so it's great that it's fixed now.
Yep.
And again, this is just part one of what our plans are.
And
You should write a book on that, by the way. I was going to say, I've seen so many, as a lawyer, I see businesses all the time go about like acknowledging a mistake the wrong way.
Yeah.
First off,
You
they
gotta
don't
own
acknowledge it.
You got to own it.
They don't own
and
it.
apologize.
Exactly.
'Cause
I
people
say
know
that
when
saves
you're
you
lying.
literally tens of thousands of dollars. Just admit it, apologize, take
Make it
corrective
right.
action.
And she did.
Super simple.
Yeah, she did. It was great
It's
because
not
it went viral.
easy.
No, it went
But
viral
simple.
on social media, and we put it out there, and then all of these posts came through, and they weren't wrong. The posts were not wrong. The people that were upset were not wrong. But what was beautiful is Sarah and our marketing team and our entire team jumped in there and took responsibility and owned it and said, "You are right. We are working in this." And I can tell you, I go back and look at those, and every single one of those gave us a thumbs up, or they were happy with the response. And she did it right. So
That's
great
awesome.
if we're being
What-
realistic, every project is going to have little hiccups,
For
right?
sure.
Like, and to me, that might have seemed like a major hiccup for a minute,
Oh, it
but
did for a minute. Yeah, it did.
when you're getting that much pressure on it, but
Yeah.
still, I think that it was solved and it was resolved really fast. So
Yeah.
that was good.
Good job on that. Hey, so moving, like, since then, what's the feedback been like? How are families and kids, what's their experience?
They are loving it. It's so much fun. It's so magical. I really love too, like Shane was saying, that the accessibility wasn't the only factor that came into play. Like there's a lot of sensory, a lot of tactile thoughtfulness that went in for kiddos with different neurodivergencies can come and have little hideout spaces, little quiet places, like the textures. Like if you walk around, I wouldn't touch it right now. It's a little hot. It's 3 p.m. That's the only negative feedback we're getting right now is
It's
the
hot.
middle of the day.
But we're working on that.
We
as
are
well.
working on that. I'm getting bids on shade. I keep telling
Nice.
everybody, I'm like, we have shade for the parents at the tables, but just not over the playground yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, the feedback is amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome.
The parents, a lot of parents are more excited than the kids. It's been really funny. Like when we've been opened, there was a little girl trying to take her mom up to see the animatronics upstairs. And the mom was like, but the playground is open. And the little girl's like 5. And the mom was like, no, but should we just go play on the playground first? Should we go just check it out? And the daughter was like trying to yank her up the stairs. She's like, fine. And like went upstairs. And I was like, that's my
awesome.
kind of mom right there, right?
There we go.
So
Well, and don't forget, not just the playground, not just the All Ability Playground. We kept a lot of legacy pieces.
yeah,
Yeah.
they are
If
here,
you
which
see you
is
out the
cool.
park, again, I had mentioned earlier, parts that I played on as a kid,
Yeah,
they're still here. I'm
Which is
looking
so
at
cool.
2 of them, and there's more throughout
yeah,
the park.
there are more. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we specific anything that we could save,
Yeah.
we did. Other than that big massive tree that
But
again was falling
hey,
apart.
look at the big
Yeah.
massive tree that was recreated.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we need to
beautiful.
clarify, Shane. You keep saying things that you played on as a kid. You have never stopped
I've
playing,
never grown
Yeah.
up. I
which is
still
a good
do.
thing. It's a good thing, but yeah.
I have a key, so I come at
I
night.
know. That's why he's a chairperson.
That's right.
And he fishes, I hear too.
No fishing.
No.
That's why I joined the board, but no fishing. Not yet.
Not
Shane
allowed,
Couldn't even,
not
he couldn't
allowed.
even catch a fish in the park.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about behind the scenes. Sarah, what's a day in the life at the Park
gosh.
Light for you and your staff?
Well, we all have a different day in the life. Like that's the cool thing is that sometimes my day revolves around lots of grant writing and hunting for money for shade and rubberized ground cover for
Yeah.
a playground or marketing grants or different things like that is my life. Promoting our golf tournament that we have going on, things like that. And then we have our education team giving tours, giving fossil presentations. Hundreds of kids show up, sometimes unannounced. That's super fun. And our team just rolls with it. And they give them tours and they give them presentations and they educate them. And you would never know that they hadn't been booked months in advance. And our operations team is incredible. They're at the front desk. They're at the gift shop. And we're doing a really good job of cross training as well so that they can help each other out and give each other breaks and just kind of not have, like, they all want to be a part of education, right? Like, they all want to do the tours. They all want to get out in the museum. They all want to get out in the park. So it's been really fun to watch them teach each other and
So
share their
good.
knowledge with each other. All the way to like our curator the other day, he was fixing a jaw that broke off of something. One day he fixed a toe. Like you never know what's gonna break off of a dinosaur. Yeah, all the way to like our finance director, like she's just buried in receipts, like in processes and getting things in order. And I was like, okay, everybody stop spending money. But it's good, it's good stuff. Or like our curator the other day, a couple weeks ago in July, we had a handful of youth artists from Ninth Muse Art Academy here in Ogden came out to help us refresh a bunch of our sculptures. They did a whole week-long dinosaur camp before they came out and learned different techniques. And then they got to come out and actually paint our dinosaurs,
It's fantastic.
which was so cool. Because when I approached them about doing that, because we had a lot of our sculptures that were just, like the sun really bakes them, right? Like
Right.
they really age them. And I was like, hey, I would love to have you come out and help us paint dinosaurs. And she thought I meant come out with a canvas and paint a picture of the dinosaurs. And when I said, no, like, I want you to come and paint the dinosaurs,
Yeah.
she about lost her mind. She was so excited. And they jumped into action to help us. So
good.
yeah, there's that. Like, you just never know what's going to
So
happen.
when do you guys start? What's your day? Start time, end time?
We open right now. We're still in our summer hours, so we're 10 to 8 during the week. Sunday is 10 to 5. And then as kids go back to school, like our staff kids, and then our kids that go back to school, we shift into our fall hours, where we close, I think, on Sundays and Mondays, and kind of shorten the evenings because as the sun sets, we put the dinosaurs to bed so that they can.
Except
be
for
up in the
Halloween.
morning. Oh, except for Dinos in the Dark.
That's
oh my
right.
gosh, the team is like chomping at the bit for that.
gonna
Like we
be
have
great.
so many meetings about that, so many exciting ideas. I cannot wait.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. it's
You've
gonna
got to
be
bring
great.
back the whole like shutting the lights off and turning on the flashlights, right?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't we not do that last year?
We did not. No, Sarah wasn't here.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm
we
new.
did not do that last
My
year. I
kids
don't
were
know.
so bummed. I
Yeah.
get the safety side of it.
It wasn't a safety issue. There was something else going on electrical.
always about safety.
Oh.
Yes,
We'll
but
blame safety.
it
was
was
safety.
there was a reason we didn't do it. I'm not sure why. But what we did do
Alas.
last year is we did have a spook alley
Yeah.
last year,
The spook alley is like
which
next level.
oh
This is-
yeah,
Nice.
which
Get
my
ready.
son now has recruited all of his friends, and they're not planning on going trick or treating this year. They want to come out and do the spook alley.
I
And
love
they
it.
want to scare people. And I even had my 10-year-old with his Jason mask,
Oh
who
my
was
gosh,
probably
I love
he
it.
probably scared more people than anyone else because he's sneaky. And
Oh
so-
yeah. Yeah,
That's awesome.
We're so excited. The theme this year. So I don't know if they've ever done like different kinds of themes or if it's just general dinos in the dark, but they're doing cryptids this year. So it's like Sasquatch and like all like or like Bigfoot, like the
Yeah.
myth of Bigfoot and all those like
Nice.
fun mythological creatures.
Loch Ness
Yummy.
Monster,
Oh, yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
There's a
Awesome.
whole list. Half of them I have never heard of because they are all smarter than me.
Yeah,
so,
of course, the team
oh
knows
my
that.
gosh, because they're incredible.
But it's
What's-
not just dinos in the dark as well too. We have dinos in the snow.
Mhm. Yeah, and we're going to expand on that. I want people here all year.
Yeah, we have
Every day.
this will be our 3rd annual car show
Oh yeah.
where we open up the what is the east the southeast
Katrubis.
area, the
Yeah,
Katrubis shelter,
shelter
and we
Field.
bring a whole bunch of classic cars in.
Yeah.
You name it.
fun.
It's the plan was once a month to have at least a small event, and then at least quarterly have a large event that everyone can come and take part in.
And I think we've
Super
amped that
good.
up because then
We
I was
have.
like, hey, we should have a golf tournament.
The golf tournament.
Love it. I'm sponsoring.
Yes,
Or we
thank
are.
you.
That's,
Yes.
that's Randon over here.
Thank you,
So
thank you.
yeah, love it.
It's going to be fun.
We got to get that filled out. So if you're listening to the podcast,
We do. We still have
sign
space
up.
available.
that's right.
It's on September 25th.
You want to be part of the first one.
At Mount
So-
Ogden.
Mount Ogden. Yep.
Yeah.
Got to support Ogden City.
You
That's
absolutely
the only downside. That is the hardest course
Is it?
anywhere in the world.
bring a bunch
Well,
of golf balls with you.
Bring a
It's the
lot
only
of golf
tournament
balls.
I've ever played, and I did fine. I won't tell
Then
you how
you're
many
pro
balls I
level,
donated.
man.
No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing. I'm glad that it's a hard field because one of our fun little additions to the tournament is a gummy gimme. And
Oh.
we're going to have gummy snakes that can be your gimme. So like
Oh,
if you
yeah, yeah.
are short on a putt or get off into the brush somewhere, you can use the length of your gummy snake and either eat it or take it home to your kids, just break it off.
Nice.
And it's a gummy gimme, which will be an additional fundraiser
I'm gonna need
Love
a lot
it.
of those.
within that.
A lot
Yeah,
of that. Yeah, exactly.
it's going to be good.
All right, let's talk a little bit. This is something that's just kind of like I like to hear about from the different board members. We're going to talk a little bit about dinosaur science and your belief belief stuff. So let's talk about where do you think, just anybody that wants to answer this, where do you personally think dinosaurs fit into human history? There's all sorts of different theories about that.
That's deep. You went deep real
I know, I'm
fast.
like-
Yeah, you can go
I'm like, where's Jeff? I'd like to phone a
I
friend.
know. I feel like we're being baited.
you're not being baited.
I think it's okay to say I don't know.
I have
Like,
no idea.
You can't deny that they existed,
Yeah.
right? I mean, they were here. We have plenty of evidence to prove
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Um,
all around us.
Yeah, I consider myself a spiritual person, a Christian, and I think that science and religion can come together. Like I think there's a
Same.
lot of ways to explain both of them, and just because we don't have an explanation doesn't mean it's not possible or it doesn't exist, right? So,
Yeah.
and that's coming from somebody that teaches science every day. So I feel
love
like
that.
they definitely can come together,
Absolutely.
and there's a lot that we don't know, which is why it's exciting.
Yeah.
Right? It'd be pretty boring if we knew every detail. I mean, you talk to the staff here,
Oh my
and they're
gosh.
constantly telling you new things. Well, this
New
exhibit is now outdated as of yesterday because we
Because
found
of
this new
this.
information, right? Like
Yeah.
a lot of things that
Yep.
we thought once was is no longer. So
Yep.
Yeah.
that's what's cool and exciting
It's
about
so cool.
Yep. Very cool. Sarah, how about you? You were trying to bow out.
Ditto. I know. I was like, I like to phone a friend. I'd like to call Jeff Bond, please. No, I really agree with that. I love that. I love that science and spirituality can come together. I really love all the changes and the updates. Like I'm somebody who feels like I'm constantly evolving, and so I love that like science constantly evolves, and that you can always learn something new, and you can always change your mind. And when you have better evidence, you can make better decisions. And so I love that about this park and about the things like that we have in our lab that are unnamed species. I'm like, we have unnamed species in our lab? Like, that blows my mind.
Yeah.
It's just so cool.
Well, and I think too, and then we'll go to Shane, because I think we'll get a little different perspective here.
Oh, no.
But I do,
I'm excited to
I
hear what
think
he's gonna
that
say.
faith is always trying to kind of answer the question of like, where did we come from? Which is really kind of the preeminent question with dinosaurs too. Where did they come
Where
from?
did they come from?
So, I mean, I think they fit together pretty well. But Shane, what do you think?
There's two things I rarely talk about, and that is religion and politics, because it never ends well.
No, that's not true. It can end well, but people just don't know how to end well anymore.
Right,
We're going to end well today.
Yeah.
That's
We're
right.
going to end
Yeah.
well today. That for those that know Thaddeus and I, we're really close friends, and
That's
I am
right.
I am very anti-religion, and Thaddeus is not, and we both respect each other very,
love
very
that.
well.
Very
in-
true.
In
Very true.
regards to that, I've always been a firm believer that you treat people well, you do nice things. Look, as something's happening as I'm getting.
Oh, it's a sign.
Yeah.
It's a sign.
Everybody that didn't see that, an acorn literally fell down as he was talking about.
Miss Shane's head. That's
It
the
did.
warning one.
Just mentioning, there's your warning. No.
Providential.
Oh my God.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. And we know that there was dinosaurs. We know that there was history. And something that really impressed me about you and about Ashley was I know your beliefs, and I know you're very, very firm on your beliefs, which is great. And I think that's absolutely great. And the fact that you still said yes when I asked you to come and be a part of the dinosaur park.
Well, do you remember I asked you a few questions before I said yes?
Did you
That
get
were
paid?
kind of about
The answer
this.
was no.
No.
You have to pay me.
I did say, do I have
I
to
did
be a straight hardline evolutionist? And he said, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. No.
So,
And that's what we love. And that's what we love about our board. That's what we love about our staff. That's what we love about our members is you don't have to be wrong. There's never been a conversation where someone has come to us and said, well, you're wrong.
mm-hmm.
No, everyone has their own opinions. They have their own beliefs. They can choose to believe what they want. We know there was dinosaurs. We know from the fossils. Now, over the years, there's been misconceptions on dinosaurs. So an interesting story. So this is at the Natural History Museum in Thanksgiving Point, I think is where it is.
Yeah.
And they have a story up there where what was the giants with the one eye? What were those called? The
Cyclops.
Cyclops.
I'm good at mythology.
Do you know why they thought that they found Cyclops? Because of a mammoth sculpture or a mammoth
Really?
skeleton. They
Oh, I
had
could see
found a
that, like
mammoth
the half
skeleton,
its side. Okay,
and they
yeah.
put it together. And when the person that found it, this was 100+ years ago, if not longer, they put it together. And when they put it together, they made it look like a standing man with one eye.
Huh.
And so they said, we now have proof that there's Cyclops. And obviously they were wrong.
Right.
But it's, there's no doubt there are dinosaurs. There's no doubt that, that it was happened. I'm not going to say evolution because I don't want to say any of that. But I love the fact that we can all come together with our different beliefs.
I love that.
So.
Yeah,
And
you
that's
know what?
why this wasn't a bait kind of question, but I wanted to bring it up because I think it's important. We live in a very conservative community, and in that community, there's going to be some pretty strong opinions. I love that I could become a board member here and bring my kind of worldview and not get shamed or alienated. And I think that's true of the park too. You can come here, yes.
100%.
Are you going to be taught about evolution? Sure. Is it going to be pumped down your throat and you're going to be told
Well,
you're
no.
stupid if you don't agree with it 100%? No.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of, I think there's a lot of space here for all sorts of folks from different walks and different worldviews
It's my
and
favorite
old
thing.
history
I love
views
it.
to be able to come here and get educated
I agree.
in a safe way.
Well, and I think if you think about it, it's all theory, right? Whether
Yeah.
it's evolution theory or some kind of religious
Creationism theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
None of us were there.
There's only one requirement. Like Shane and I could have different views, but there's only one requirement to make it so it's a good conversation, and that's that you are objective, have objective thought, and that you're open-minded and willing to consider somebody else's thought process or ideas on it. And
Right.
that's if you're not that, if you're solely stuck on one area, you're really confining yourself. You're not allowing yourself to be educated and to grow and to learn things and see how whatever your current beliefs are can change and evolve themselves. If we're going to talk about evolution,
Yeah.
right?
You're right.
For me, I
love
feel like
using that word
evolution,
sometimes.
evolution and spirituality for me go hand in hand. Like
Yeah.
there's proof that there's evolution, but I also feel like there's proof for spirituality too.
Oh, yeah. We
I'm
won't
not a
get into
big
microevolution and
exactly. Yeah.
macroevolution.
Like, there's a lot of different things. I'm not
Thank
a
you.
strong religious person per se, And I hate that when everybody's like, well, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. But I feel like I am a spiritual person and I have a lot of spiritual beliefs. But when it comes to like diehard religion, there's not one that I feel totally comfortable with.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How about, have your staff ever had to deal with this? I mean, if you had somebody come in here that's a hardline creationist and was like, you can't say that's 6 million years old.
I have not heard of that. But one thing I did want to share with you, which is really cool, and Jeff could tell you, our curator could tell you better about it, but this, I really loved this. He was telling me about a study that I want to say like Barnes & Noble or some kind of bookstore did years ago about trying to find some common ground between all of the people that come through and buy books. And they did some kind of survey with Democrats and Republicans. They were trying to find like what is something universally loved and purchased and agreed upon, apparently. And there was one, and it was paleontology. Any of their books on paleontology was universally, like there was no sway either way, both sides of the aisle, if you will, like love dinosaurs and love the park and that's what I love is that you can feel that here. It doesn't feel divisive. I've heard so many people say like, this is my happy place, this is my safe place, and that could make me cry any day of the week. So
I don't think people come here to disprove or anything else. They come here because they know that it's
the magic.
Exactly. Yeah. They know it's a great place. They know it's a great place for the community. They know it's a safe place for the community and their kids to come and just be a part of something different and to learn and to understand. And that's our number one goal, right? Education. Now, we have fun things to do because that brings people in. But the biggest goal is always going to be education. And so we felt, and especially this board that we have, get the people in, have the fun exhibits, have the fun attractions, have all those things that get people in the door. And then when they get here in the door, we will teach them everything we can about what we know.
And be curious. Like, we love people to ask questions. Like, oh, the staff
And I love, too,
thrive.
like you guys said, you know, sometimes you have to update things because we got it wrong. And that's this whole park is built around that. Like, we're updating all the time. It's great. Let me, we've got only a couple minutes left here, so I just want to talk about and give you an opportunity, Sarah, whoever else wants to chime in too, but how can people get involved, whether by volunteering, donating, or just spreading the word? What's the best way for folks to do that?
Yes. All of those.
All of it.
However they can, as often as they can, right? I love that. I've had some conversations. It's been really fun on our social media when people are like, oh, the shade, or oh, the ground cover, oh, like when they're complaining about something. It's been fun to be like, actually, did you know we just had, 12 young artists here painting our sculptures and post the pictures and letting them know that we are a 501c3. I think a lot of people think that we're owned by the city or we're government owned and government funded, and we're a regular 501c3. We get admission funding, we get funding through grants that we apply for, just like any other nonprofit. And so when I've shared that and said like, hey, we survive on grants, we survive on admission prices, and we survive on volunteers and donors. And one of the guys responded and was like, I didn't know I could volunteer at the dinosaur park. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I took the negative little comment and boom, now we have a volunteer. Yeah. So I think just sharing
so how's that
awareness.
look? How's a volunteer? If I want to volunteer, who do I call? And what can I expect to do?
You call the front desk, right?
Okay.
So it's like 801-393-DINO, which I love that's our phone number. Or you can email Canton at dinosaurpark.org. He's our volunteer coordinator / operations manager / all kinds of other hats. And it just depends on what.
Spelled
Canton. Thank you. Yes, that's perfect.
And then if we want to follow you on social media, where do we go?
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn.
YouTube. Sign up for our YouTube.
Oh, go to our YouTube.
Our YouTube has how many members
epic.
do we have and how many followers?
Oh, it's got to be getting close to 60,000.
Yeah. And
it's
our
amazing.
staff are the ones who put the content out.
Nice.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is really.
So we just go to YouTube, look up Ogden Dinosaur Park, and boom,
You'll find
follow.
it. Yep.
Put it in
Okay.
Google. You can't miss us.
Help us get to 60,000. Follow,
think we might even
subscribe,
do that.
whatever it is.
And if
We
we're
want
already at
600,000.
600,000. There we
all
go.
of them.
Yeah.
All right.
And can I say one thing really quick that is really important to remember, though, is yes, we are a nonprofit. Our staff wages are paid out of the admissions.
Yep.
We don't pay staff wages out of grants
can't.
or no, we can't do anything like that.
most
So,
can't,
and we recently did an increase for our staff, and a pretty substantial pay increase for our staff as well too, because they are amazing and they needed to make sure that they were paid a living wage. Because at a place like this, at a nonprofit, no one's getting rich. And so all the money that we receive from admissions, from gift shop, from those type of donations, from memberships, those do go to our staff. And then our dinosaurs and our sculptures and our updates and our playgrounds and all of that is from grant funding. That's where that is from, and we want to be really clear on that.
I think that's
Can I
great
add
clarity.
something to that, Thaddeus?
Sure.
So I think if you're somebody wanting to come and volunteer, and you're thinking, well, what's in it for me, right? Because it's volunteer, it's not paid.
yeah.
I look at just this table right here, and the reason why I'm part of it is I know nothing. I've been on the board for 10 years, and I still know nothing about dinosaurs. However, it's the people at this table and the other people that I get to network with, and that's the benefit I get, just the friendships I make. Shane and I, we can act very, very professional when it needs to be, but then we're like college buddies, and we get very unprofessional and have friendly banter, right? Like in a good way,
Not
in a
me.
good way.
Not
But
me.
those relationships
Never.
are really what's in it for me.
Right.
That's what I enjoy. Like, and it benefits us personally and professionally. Like Thaddeus, just getting to know you has helped me
Likewise.
personally in your profession, right? Asking you for advice and sending people your way that need help in that area. And same with Shane, and going to do the same with Sarah. Like, it's just all those benefits just come out of it. So you are going to benefit. You might not see something financially gaining like right then, but it's those relationships that you build that really going to matter.
I choose to
Awesome.
do this because I love it.
Yeah.
And there's so many ways that you can volunteer. If you want to come mow a lawn, you can mow a lawn. If you want to clean up, if you want to paint, if you want to just come and be a part of it. We have a lot of missionaries that come and volunteer.
Yeah.
There's so much to do. And again, board members. We're always
share
looking
your
for new
skills
board
as a
members to
director.
come
Yeah.
in.
Yep.
And I've even wanted to bring in a junior board. I would love to have a junior board that we
Oh,
could bring
don't.
in with.
great.
Oh,
That'd
tempt
be a
me
great
with a
idea.
good time. I'm like,
Hey,
I know.
love
We've talked
that.
about it for 10 years and haven't done it.
What?
We need to do
Well,
it.
We need to
I-
do it. But real quick, because we're running out of time, I want to give Sarah an opportunity. I told you, see, this would go quicker than you
Really
thought.
fast.
What's on the horizon for the park in 2025, the rest of 2025, 2026, and kind of highlight some of the upcoming. I know you quickly went through some of them that are coming up, but put some specific dates and times, if you can, on some upcoming events.
Perfect. Okay, so September 20th is the car show. September 25th is the golf tournament. Dinos in the Dark is like the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the 2 weeks prior to Halloween.
Nice.
That's going to be epic. Stay tuned for Dinos in the Snow because that is ever evolving. Love to put in a nice word pun in there. I want to have a lot more fun in the winter because it's beautiful and magical here in the winter when the dinosaurs are covered in snow. And that'll wrap up 2025. But for 2026, I'm just so excited. Like, we are meeting weekly to plan 2026 right now.
Yeah.
And so I'm just really excited to, have a little downtime once September is over because we have so much going on. But I feel like the sky is the limit. So we do have that hatchery coming, which is going to be amazing. Like, we're shopping around to learn more about the 3D printers and what kind of filaments we need and, how do we build more sculptures to expand here at the park. But I think just a lot more programming.
Sure.
A lot more diverse things that bring new people to the park so that they can discover the magic.
Fantastic. All right, guys. Well, again, went a little over time, but it was awesome. It went fast. You guys were fantastic, like I told you it'd be. So I want to give a big thanks to all of you, Shane, Sarah, Casey, for sharing your passion and insights today. If you're local or visiting northern Utah, do yourself a favor and check out the Ogden Dinosaur Park. It's more than fossils. It's a living, breathing, educational hub in Jurassic World. Until next time, I'm Thaddeus Wendt. This is Beyond the Bar. Stay curious, stay kind, and keep supporting your local treasures.